Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for episode 141 of Two Guys, One Cartridge. Myself, Tim, and Daryl here. And how's it going, buddy?
I'm feeling it tonight, man.
You feeling it?
I don't know what it is, man, but I'm feeling it.
You're pretty amped up before the show today, which is, it is a somewhat rare occasion.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just shockingly mediocre IPA that I'm drinking.
That might be it.
But, I don't know. I don't know what it is, man.
So,
maybe I'm just ready for the end of the Steam Summer Sale, so I just have to stop reading about it and hearing about it. All the games I'm not gonna buy, but who knows?
Here we are. July 22nd. It is the end.
Yep, it's over. Mm-hmm.
Ended today at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have to say, I was somewhat good this year. I mean, and actually I've been playing a lot of what I bought. So it's definitely not like last year where I sit here and buy a whole bunch of shit and then just let it go for, months and months on end.
Yeah, you just put it into the backlog and just sort of move on.
Mm-hmm. So, following up from last week's discussion, so I'm just going down the list here again. So start from the beginning. So Call of War as Gunslinger, I did buy that. I beat that. God Mode did play that, with Josh and with the guys over at Gameageddon. I picked up the fourth installment of On a Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness. Haven't gotten to that one yet, but I will. Mars Warlogs, I'm gonna get to that soon. Remember Me, I did buy that, and I did beat that, actually, on Saturday morning. I think I finished it. And I have to say, I liked it a lot. I said it was, decent last week and everything else, but after finishing it, I like it. It was a really good story. At the very end, I was like, oh, I get it now. Actually, I knew it a little bit before that, but, it was good. I mean, the final boss fight wasn't really exactly challenging, I guess. I played it on the second highest difficulty. Because they only have, 3 difficulties. I always start on medium, and then I'll go to hard afterwards when I want to play through and get that last little achievement to just get the, beat it on hard achievement. But, the last boss fight made you think about all the abilities and skills that you need to have, but overall it was not exactly challenging. So, kind of disappointing for the last boss fight, but the story, the environment, graphical detail, everything else, the skills and the extra little stuff they throw in there, it was a decent game. So, got it marked down, and I have to say I have no regrets whatsoever about beating it and playing it. Or playing it and beating it. Reyes haven't gotten to yet. Scribblenauts, The Secret World I'm going to get to soon. It is an MMO. I'm interested in this one because the whole no level thing, I'm confused. But Mark of the Ninja started playing. I did buy some software too, so I bought Music Creator 6. Which maybe I can actually create some new theme music for us if I get around to it.
Wow. You mean
Because,
that new theme music we've been waiting on for over 2 years?
yeah, well, we're relying on someone else to do it for us. But, I used to be a musician. I guess I still am. I just don't play as much as I used to, but I used to do a lot of writing, so maybe I can, put a little something together for us. Maybe
a little butt rock intro for us?
Yeah, something. So moving on, Warframe was a free-to-play game online, but they had the starter pack for the game marked down to $10, so I ended up buying the starter pack for Warframe just to add more to my online fun. Sangfroid, Tales of Werewolves, Trials of Evolution, Deadpool, I bought I was waiting for it to go on sale. It finally did go on sale, I think, like the second to last day, or third to last day on the sale. And, played it, beat it, it's done. I do have something to say about that game, but, Sword of the Stars, The Pit, and I went ahead and I bought my pre-purchase for Saints Row 4, thinking that it would give me the, cards for the badge system for the summer badge. Apparently Saints Row 4, because it was not a Steam sale item, did not count. So, that was $40 that I just put down thinking I was going to get some cards too out of it, but hey, I'm going to play Saints Row 4, so it doesn't really bother me too much. I was just kind of pissed that I didn't get the cards out of it. I was like, I was so close to getting my next level of the badge, you fuckers. But, real quick, Deadpool. It's not going to win any awards. Okay? I'll say that right now. I mean, it's not going to win Game of the Year. I hope it wins awards in some other categories, but it is, it had me laughing my ass off from start to finish. It is just absolutely hilarious. And actually, it's at some points it's a little distracting because I'm like, I shouldn't be laughing. I'm supposed to be focusing on killing these motherfuckers. But he's so fucking funny. And it's just constantly, breaking the fourth wall and everything else. And the beginning of the game has him calling, High Moon Studios bitching about how he wants a video game and they say, they say no. And so he cuts away to a bunch of explosives that he bought and he pushes a button and of course you hear people blowing up and dying. And he also gets another phone call back from High Moon saying, you know what? We'll go ahead and do that for you. No
Maybe
problem.
go ahead and publish that Deadpool game?
Yeah, so we'll send you over the script. You're like, script?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And so then he calls Nolan North and starts bitching or talking to Nolan North about, wanting to do some work with him and is like, hey, some people say we sound alike. I'm like, oh my god. Okay, we're going with this joke. Fine. But,
so wait, hold on. What joke? Cause I'm not into any of this stuff, so what's that joke?
Sorry, Nolan North is the voice actor for Deadpool.
Okay.
So he's calling himself.
Okay. And saying, hey, I'm in a game or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
And say some people some people think we sound alike, so he's coming, wanting to do work for him to get the voice tracks down for his game.
Okay.
I go, oh my god. Okay, fine, whatever. And, he's going to like the whole delusional mind of Deadpool, so there's all kinds of jokes and, throughout the entire game. And it's entertaining, and it's fun. Like, there was no point throughout that game I sat there going, oh, please, let it fucking end. But it was fun, and, it took me about, 6.5 to 7 hours to beat it completely. So, average, I guess. And again, that was on the medium difficulty, so I just got to go play it on extreme or whatever the hell it was, and I haven't done any of the challenge modes or anything for it, but again, it was fun. So, I mean, if you just want a fun, entertaining game and to sit there and audibly laugh while you're doing so, I mean, this is a game to play. And it's not bad. I enjoyed it. So people bitching about it because I was like, it's nothing original. Whatever. It's funny.
Yeah.
The humor actually added so much more to it. I said, I haven't laughed this much in a game in I don't know how long. I can't think of a game that made me laugh as much. I mean, I know Saints Row, the Saints Row series will usually get, 1 or 2 from me. But I can't think of any games that like really were just that funny, I mean, you get a couple of things out of it, like, Castle Crashers or maybe.
Yeah, occasionally just, random games you get a laugh here and there, but there's very rare is there a game that is genuinely trying to be humorous.
Yeah.
And is a good game and actually succeeds at being humorous.
Yeah, and they did it. I mean, I really think High Moon did a good job with it. The only thing that really threw me off is they reused some of their sound effects from Transformers. So I started hearing this weird bell ringing and I realized, oh, that's the I'm running out of ammo sound that they use in Transformers. Okay. Well, at least I'm familiar with the noise. Alright. Time to reload. But right now, I've unlocked, 31, hold on here. 31 out of 50 achievements. I was actually working on one more before the show started that was kind of a pain in the dick, and somehow I didn't get it, so I'm pissed. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I didn't get it, but it's play through an entire level without using my counter button. And I'm like, I can do this. And I got to the end, and I was like, I didn't get the award. I'm like, what? When did I ever... I don't remember ever hitting it. Oh. But there's a boss fight. The way to take down the boss, you have to press the counter button, jump up on him, and shoot him. I'm like, is there a way to kill him without doing that? Because if there is, and I just went through the entire level to do this, that sucks. But I'll get back to it at another time. Speaking of achievements, real quick, after the Steam Summer Sale and everything else brings me to a whopping 4,262 achievements. I'm good.
Okay. Well, the only game I bought on the Steam Summer Sale was Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I bought it, yesterday when it was marked down to $5.01. I'm not sure why they didn't just round it down to that, even dollar amount, but hey, it is what it is. So I haven't played it yet, but I mean, it's Counter-Strike and I know what I'm getting myself into, and I know I'll go and, be able to go on and be competent and outscore you and, probably kill you a few times and all that. So we'll play some games in the future because you have the full version too, don't you?
Oh yeah, I've been playing it, yeah.
Okay. So you've been practicing. Oh. So you're challenging me is what?
No, I'm not saying that at all. No, how did that come out? No. Yeah, I want some.
Oh, okay.
I want some 1v1 with you.
I bet you do.
No. We have some other people that do own it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was wondering if we could get I guess I was always wondering if we could actually get a full game and just, randomize the teams and say, let's just play some Counter-Strike together. We do that with a lot of other shit, so why not this? And
because the skill parity is so great between myself and Josh versus everybody else. And not to say I'm even as good as Josh, because Josh is way better than me, but if you could put Josh and I against you and pretty much probably anybody else from the site, and we could probably be 2-4, 2-5, and we'd probably win. I don't see a way we wouldn't win. Especially with you, because that's just a handicap, so. Yeah. So, anyway.
I can't really play online anyway, for some reason.
Why is that?
I have this weird thing that happens whenever I jump into an actual online game.
You die constantly?
No. Well, that would happen if I could actually get that far.
Yeah, okay.
I can't even get to that point. That whenever I go to select teams, and the game actually starts, my cursor never goes away. So I don't have a targeting reticle. I have my mouse cursor still on the screen, and I can't do shit. I can't shoot, I can't strafe, I can move forward, I can move backward, but I can't do anything else.
Maybe that's just the game's way of, trying to send you a hint.
Yeah, so I go back and I enjoy playing against my bots and everything else. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. That's why I was trying to get people to play online. Maybe playing a custom game will fix it. I don't know, or maybe I just have to uninstall and reinstall it, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really do, but it's no one ever really plays Go, so,
I will.
You will, yeah.
That.
No, you will. I'm just saying, though, recently, I'll jump into games of Go, and it's well, is anyone else gonna play? Maybe? No? Okay, well. Because, then I would, actually take the time to fix what the hell's wrong with my client. If people were gonna play, but no one ever wants to play. You didn't know that.
That won't be a problem going forward.
No.
There will be no issues with that. I will be playing probably tomorrow, actually.
I think they changed something though. Cause they removed, I'm pretty sure they changed this recently. They removed the amount of, hostages on the hostage recovery gameplays.
Weird.
There's only one.
Huh, okay, cause in, Source, they had
3.
Typically, no, it's 4.
It's 4?
Yeah. On most, at least stock, hostage rescue maps, they had 4. They'd have 2 groups of 2 on different areas of the map. So that's interesting change. As far as I know, even 1.6 had 4 hostages. So I don't know what I haven't looked it up. I'd have to go look it up, but I don't know what the reasoning behind that is.
Yeah, and they don't follow you anymore. You chuck them over your shoulder and carry him.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get the one guy, you just pick his ass up and fucking run with him.
So does it slow you down when you have him, or are you
just
huh.
You still run at normal speed, so.
That's interesting. I don't know what to make of that. Without actually researching it and playing, I don't really know what to make of that.
And I thought it was really weird because I was playing games and there was all the hostages before when I was playing earlier. I'm like, okay. And then I went back in and I was playing again and then there's just one hostage. I'm like, huh. Well, this is
because that's the way Counter-Strike has really always been is, 2 groups of 2. Hostage. I don't, like I say, I don't know what to make of that.
Maybe they're trying to speed the games up, I guess? I don't know.
Maybe, without getting my hands on it, I can't say, so.
Oh, now you have it now, so you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's definitely something to look into.
Yeah, so that's that. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird, cause I remember always, the other ones, it was always, like you said, 4. It was 4. And then you'd grab the first 2, you'd go find the other 2, and then if no terrorist was around, you just walk your ass back.
Yeah.
Or they're all dead. One of the 2.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just kind of weird because I was playing on another map and I was like, there's still only one. Okay. Interesting. So, I don't know. But it definitely changed some things for me because I mean I was able to complete games faster. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna grab this one motherfucker and run. We got this shit.
So you actually, get rounds for your team, Tim?
Yeah, because I play offline with bots.
Okay. I thought you meant you were playing online and you actually were productive and helpful instead of just, being you, so, But, anyway.
You know what? Here's the thing. One of my major complaints about Source versus Go was the fact that I could not really tell when playing Source because I walked into Source, years after it was released. It was something that Goo and Josh played and he kept on trying to talk me into playing it. I finally started playing it and I couldn't really discern friend versus enemy in that game at first because I wasn't familiar with the skins and there was no other way of knowing what they were. But in Go, they make it easier for you to determine friend or foe. So I've been having a better time, playing it. Like, it's not as hard for me to play it anymore than it was before.
Well, I think when you get used to the maps, when you play it enough, and you'll understand where, if you're on, let's say if you're playing Office and you're on the counter-terrorist team, you're gonna pretty much always know where the terrorists are coming from, so you've got a very slim chance of actually shooting your teammates most of the time. I mean, it can still happen, but it's just a matter of learning the maps and getting used to, like you said, what the other team's skins look like. So you really just have to play it more, is all it is. And that's just what it boils down to. I don't think it's a fundamental flaw in the game. You just have to play it more.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not saying it's
but Counter-Strike, the Go, making it easier to understand the difference between terrorists and counter-terrorists, it's not a bad thing at all. Either.
No, I said it made it easier for me. It actually made it more enjoyable for me to play. And I was like, oh, so I keep on playing it. So I have 8 hours, I think, logged into Global Offensive. I'll go in, I'll play a full round, then I'll leave, and I'll come back later. I'll play a full round again, I'll leave. Just keep on, just every now and then when I'm, waiting for somebody else or something like that, I'll just jump into Counter-Strike and I'll play a game or two, and then when they're all done, I'm like, okay, I'm ready now, let's go. So,
And players like that who come into servers, I just look at it as more free kills for me, so it's a win-win situation for everybody. Well, I think, does that wrap up our Steam summer sale discussion? I don't have anything else to talk about. Do you, Tim?
Real quick, I finally beat The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I had walked away from that game because I didn't want to finish it.
Okay.
It's like one of those games, like, it was that good that I felt like so attached to the characters that I said, I don't want to beat this game. And I was like, I'll come back to it. And I came back to it months later. So Sunday morning, I actually went ahead and I beat, or maybe it was Saturday morning, I went ahead and beat, chapters 4 and 5 of The Walking Dead. And, I ain't gonna lie, man, I shed a man tear at the end of episode 5, man. I was like, wait, what? No, man, that's not fair, man. That's not cool. That's not cool. But, yeah, so then I realized that they had the 400 days DLC. I haven't played that yet. I actually haven't bought it yet. But, that is it for me from Steam. So The Walking Dead, fucking fantastic. If you haven't picked it up yet, you needed to. I mean, it's too late now, but it'll always go on sale. It's Steam. Everything goes on sale.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's a game like Dust Force, which for whatever reason didn't go on sale this year. It'll be on sale at some point.
Yeah, it always does.
Down the road.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Dust Force, but, you missed out.
Oh.
Not sure why, but you missed out, so.
Totally.
Yeah. So, did you have any other notes you wanted to address, Tim?
No, I think that's it for me for right now.
Okay. So, I want to go ahead and knock out a few really quick notes on my list here. So the first thing is that there's an official Firefly game coming out.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But
go ahead.
The caveat, of course, is that it's a social online role-playing game,
it's
which is
fucking Facebook game
to be released on iOS and Android So, I don't think it's quite the game that Firefly fans were hoping for.
No, it's not.
I think that's a bit of an understatement to say it's not the game they were hoping for.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. I'm sure it'll be something that people will be able to pick up every now and then and put some time into here and there, but not the interactive whole, I mean, when I think of a Firefly game, I would think of a little space combat, a little ground combat, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little third person, maybe whatever, but not a social, not a Farmville in the Firefly universe.
You require 400 more coins to...
Exactly, yeah. You require 400 more coins.
Yeah, bastards!
That space system.
Oh, man. No,
but,
you know what? Here's the thing. It's like, will I try it? Will I play it? Yeah, because I am a big iOS gamer, too, and I definitely have a full list of shit on my phone, and actually one day I have to actually go through this and review some of these things. Mm-hmm. But when I heard that, I was like, motherfucker. It's some social experience fucking iOS.
Yeah, it's really not what people who like that series wanted at all. I mean, at least it's good that, I guess in some way they're getting some attention, because, I mean, it's like, they could just easily still ignore the whole series, like Fox has done since it went off the air, basically.
You have a franchise that failed, okay? But it had a huge...
It failed on TV, but it still had a big following.
Yes, and then it got even more followers after it was off the air.
Mm-hmm.
And
then they had Serenity.
They had Serenity. So, I mean, Serenity being made was impressive enough as it is, knowing that here's a movie for a failed TV series. And now here's a game.
Well, hold on. Not just a movie, but it was like a major motion picture.
Yeah. It
wasn't just like, some like made for TV sci-fi channel bull crap. It was in theaters.
Yeah, it was a decent budget, and it was a good movie.
It was too. Like, I didn't even like Firefly, but as soon as I saw Serenity, I was like, hey, maybe there's something there. So, and then I went back and watched Firefly, and I was like, hey, it's a pretty good series.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, it's interesting enough to see that you have something that failed you. So you have this huge following from, the cult and the underground and everything else. It's not even that really. People love the show. And now here comes a game based upon this as well. And again, like you said, it's not what the people really want, but chances are most of us will still give it a shot. We might. If I see it on there, I'll be like, fuck it. Why not? Let me go ahead and get it. So when it comes out, I'll have my review of how fucking terrible it is. But hey,
Yeah.
We'll see.
But, it's just something for fans of that series to look forward to. At least throw them a little bone. You never know.
Uh-huh.
So, anyway, WildStar real quick, they did announce the last 2 races of the game. So they announced, for the Dominion side, which is, kind of their equivalent of the Horde, which is not necessarily the bad guys, but the evil side or whatever, I guess. Mm-hmm. They had what's called the Chua.
The Chua.
The Chua, which is a rodent-like race.
Oh, okay.
They're more of they're basically like WildStar's equivalent to the goblins, so they're more like,
the ankle biters?
No, well, they are like a shorter, smaller kind of race like that, but they do a lot with like engineering and all that sort of thing where,
oh, okay.
Well, yeah, that's basically the best analogy I can draw is they're like WildStar's goblins.
I see.
So they build a lot of crazy weapons and stuff that doesn't always function properly and might blow up and all that good stuff.
Was it really more like the gnomes though instead of the goblins?
Well, gnomes and goblins basically, they provided the same thing, just per side.
Alright, fair enough.
So. And then they also have an undead race for the Exiles, which is basically WildStar's Alliance race, or faction rather, which is called the Mordesh.
The Mordesh.
So it's I like that they're having more variety per side in WildStar, so you've got some quote unquote pretty races. You got some ugly races per side.
Yeah.
So I think that they're balancing it a little bit better. And we still have more announcements to go, so they're going to be talking about the final 2 classes sometime in the next month, as well as the subscription model too. So we're all thinking around waiting with bated breath for that. So.
I completely forget. Do we have a estimated date of release for this?
They have said that they would like to ship this year, but honestly at this point I don't think it's going to happen.
So maybe Q1 next year?
I really hope it's going to be sometime next year, early. Now, they have gone on record as saying it's one of those games where it'll be ready when it's ready.
Mm-hmm.
And in the MMO space, you can't force a release.
No.
It has to be perfect at launch. Literally, like it has to be ready to go.
Yeah, but honestly though, how many times have we gotten a perfect release of an MMO at launch? There's always something.
Yeah, there is always something. I mean, by perfect, I just mean that there can't be anything like super game breaking.
I see.
So, I mean, yeah, it's not going to be 100% balanced. There's going to be patches after launch and all that, but it just has to be ready.
So no fatal flaws then.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know any other way to put it other than to say that, but I hope they can pull it off, but we'll see. Until I can get my hands on in the beta, hint hint, WildStar, Carbine Studios, NC Soft, hint hint.
Hint hint.
Until we can get our hands on in it, it's hard to say. But they did have another, the gameplay footage video come out from Comic-Con with the announcements of their new races. So I just think it's looking better and better. They've made UI enhancements and I've got a lot of hope for it. Not getting hyped up, not getting too excited, but I really, really, really want it to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you definitely do. I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever heard you talk about a game so much before its actual release.
Yeah.
Ever in the history that you and I have known each other. And that's been 7 years, something like that. And all that time, never has something piqued your interest as much as this has.
Well, this is really like I've said before, is my last hurrah with this type of MMO. And if this game doesn't pull it off, there's nothing coming out that I can see that's going to. Mm-hmm. The only other game like this is going to be the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look that good. It's just mediocre. There really aren't any other of this like WoW type of theme park style MMOs that are coming out on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
That aren't like free to play or buy to win or whatever bullcrap no one really wants to play. So this is, like I said, this is the last hope for that type of MMO to release a new good game. And if they don't get it right, I just think that people are going to lose interest overall, and we've got to have something new come along and really innovate and just change the direction of MMOs, because players aren't going to stand for the same stuff over and over again.
No, I mean, in what you've shown me so far of WildStar, I mean, I definitely have not been taking as much of an interest into it as you have, and I've really been, feeding off of the information that you've been giving to me.
Yeah.
I like what I see. I like the changes. I like the tells with the combat and the different stuff that you've been explaining with the races and the different, factions and the different professions and paths that you can take in order to better yourself. And you really need to associate yourself with people who take different paths and everything else, so everyone, can kind of work together. I like what I've seen so far. And yes, maybe, just maybe, this is definitely an MMO that I will get involved with. And most of the time, the big MMOs, I usually end up playing. WoW was the big one. That was my gateway drug. And then there was Star Trek Online. No one played that. Then there was
Aeon.
No
one played that.
No one played that.
SWTOR.
Sports War. Actually, I had people that played that. I had my cousins. Here's the thing with Sports War. I had my cousin's guild. It was all his buddies from WoW that converted from WoW to this. Mm-hmm. And it was okay, but it's like, I don't know these people, and even trying to get to know them, I'm like, I still don't know you people. And it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same banter that, myself, you, Josh, if we would all have together. Fucking Steve Dave. Mike.
For better or worse.
Mike, Matt, Scott, Ashy, all of us, and what the hell's her name?
Larry Ann.
Larry Ann, thank you.
Yeah.
Jesus, I can't think of her name.
It's sad that I knew of that immediately.
I'm friends with her on Facebook, so I feel really bad now.
Yeah. I hope she doesn't listen to this. She probably doesn't.
Probably doesn't.
Yeah. She doesn't listen to this.
If she does, Larry Ann, I apologize.
Sorry. Yeah, I apologize on behalf of Tim, but.
Smooch. So, it's like you don't get that same banter, you don't get that same guild interaction, and you just don't feel it. So, and then Guild Wars was interesting because there were a bunch of us that played, and it was a bunch of guys that then I got introduced to that now I'm friends with, like, Sudoku, whatever the hell I don't know if I can know.
Sudoku?
I keep on calling him Sudoku because his name.
The game.
His name looks similar to Sudoku. And a couple of the guys down in North Carolina, like Ben and Rob and everything else, like I met them all while playing Guild Wars 2 because they all started playing. And actually, a couple of guys I met through League of Legends once League of Legends was out. Or League of Legends was out for a long time, but when Guild Wars was coming out, we talked all of our League friends into playing, so now all the League guys came over to Guild Wars 2, and we were in Guild Wars 2, and we're like, oh, this is actually a pretty fun time, everybody together, everyone talking shit and having a good time. And then it was like, yeah, fuck this game. And I think I was the first person to leave. They're like, well, we're still playing. I'm like, yeah, have fun with that, I'm done. Like, this just doesn't interest me. The dungeon system and everything doesn't interest me at all in this game. I know it's different from WoW and everything else, but honestly, I'm looking for WoW in this game, and it's not here. And I just can't get behind the dungeon system. I can't get behind the fact that I die so many fucking times. I have to constantly go back and repair my gear over and over again because I'm always fucking dying. I need the Holy Trinity. I was looking for games to get away from it and everything else, and then I realized how much I love it.
Then you realize that you need it.
Yeah, I need it.
It sounds great on paper, like, no, Holy Trinity, like, something different.
Yeah.
And then you play a game without that, and you're like, wow, this sucks.
Yeah.
I have no tank.
Oh.
There's no, like, just, a class that they get to beat up on. There's,
It's like, and the enemies can just drop aggro like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Drop aggro. Wow, that sounds like shit.
That's a fantastic time. I'm not really spec'd for armor here. Alright, let's go ahead. Oh, one hit dead? Alright, cool. Hey, this is a fun time. Hey, you all having fun? I'm having fun too. Fuck this shit. We had all these videos that we posted on YouTube of our adventures in Guild Wars 2, and they were just nothing but failures. There was no real successful video that we posted from Guild Wars 2. It was just us sucking all the time.
Yeah, I watched all of them, I know.
It was so bad. And I hate that. I hate the fact, and you're like, well, you're just not a skilled enough player. Fuck that shit. You take a player who's so used to playing one way, and then you dump him into something completely different, it's like, no, can't do it. This is bullshit. It's hard-coded in my brain now, because WoW ruined me for fucking life. I'm done.
But hopefully we can fix those problems with WildStar, so we'll see. It remains to be seen. We don't know.
Yeah.
They have a lot to prove. They've made a lot of promises, and, well, I don't even necessarily know if they've made a lot of promises, the developers themselves, but people just have such a high expectation for it, even though they didn't really want the level of hype that they're getting. Like, they've said themselves, like, we didn't expect to get the reception that we got. We didn't expect to get, I think they have close to 600,000 beta signups now. They were like, we only expected to get like 30,000 at most.
When you're making something that's interesting people, we're gonna back you, and we're gonna want to be involved.
people are gonna want to be interested and involved and all of that. So, going forward, I guess we'll see. A lot of what I've seen does look good, but as I mentioned, for me, this is my last stand with this style of MMO. And after that, the only other game that may interest me would be the Warhammer 40,000 MMO Eternal Crusade, but that's not coming out for at least another 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then Titan, which is also at least not coming out for another 2 years.
Yeah, so, the one that got broken down and now starting from fucking scratch again, pretty much. Yeah.
So between now and then, if WildStar does not live up to what I expect it to be, then I'm moving on, and there's a certain point where you just gotta cut ties. And I can't keep, looking at these games and expecting them to be as good of an experience as I've had in the past with other MMOs. Mm. One MMO, really.
Yeah, really.
And eventually you just gotta move on. It's just like the same thing with the first-person shooter genre, where the way they're made now, I can't complain too much because there have been some good first-person shooters made, but they're not quite what I've expected. But that's a completely different discussion, which we've had before. So.
Perfect first-person shooter right now. That still takes my time. It's fucking Killing Floor.
Yeah.
No, and that's more of a survival horror.
Exactly. That's more of a survival horror multiplayer.
But more of a PvP or, competitive side of it. Counter-Strike has definitely gotten my attention over the last couple of months. And actually, that's really it, I think. I used to be the big Halo guy. I don't even give a shit about Halo anymore. I finally got to that point.
You will. When the one comes out, and that Halo game is coming close, you'll care.
I don't know, dude.
And I can't blame you, because if I were gonna get, Xbox One, I'd be interested in it. Too. Yeah, you'd play it too, maybe.
I'm saying this shit now, but I know when Halo 5 comes
exactly.
out, I'll fucking
buy
it.
Saying. When it comes out, you're gonna play it.
But the competitive side of Halo and everything else, it doesn't really interest me anymore. I'll play it for the story, and I want to see the continuation of the story because that's what I'm really invested in, and everything else. But it's I absolutely hate big team battle. I fucking hate playing big team battle. I hate 8-on-8 combat. I like the small games, like 4-on-4. In particular, I like 4-on-4 SWAT games. But it's we have the entire crew on, so we're playing big team. And so that has killed my love for the game because I hate playing big team so much. And everyone's we gotta play big team because we can't just play a 4-on-4. Sure we can. We have 8 people on. We can play 4-on-4 versus each other.
Why not?
And they are so fucking against the idea of playing competitively against each other. And why doesn't even make sense? Why would you want to, why wouldn't you? This is fun. You get 8 people together, you talk shit. We get 10 people together in League of Legends and we talk shit for hours. Hours! We all get drunk, we have a good time, someone gets called a motherfucker, someone gets insulted, they get pissed off, they go cry in the corner for 10 minutes, they come back, and everything's fine. It's like being in a pub. Yeah. It's a fantastic time. Everyone comes back saying, I love you guys, I don't know why I was so upset. Yeah. But, these guys on fucking Xbox Live, it's no, we don't want to play 4v4 against each other. Why not? I guess that's the thing. It's there's the Xbox guys, and then there's the PC guys. I can get all of you together, and I could say, hey, let's go play competitively against each other in this. In X, Y. And most of the time, everybody will go do it because, what? Chances are somebody's got beef with somebody else that we're talking to, and they're looking for that opportunity to put a fucking bullet in their head.
Yeah, that's true.
They can't really do in real life, so in the virtual life, we're gonna go ahead and grief them the whole time. And, yes, great, wonderful, we can do that. But Xbox guys, I don't know. I don't know if it's just it's just a PC versus Xbox thing, or just the people in particular. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm done, again. I keep on going on tangents, I apologize. I guess I'm really not done with it. Just real quick, I guess I don't know, is it a PC versus console thing? Because nowadays, it takes so much to get me to sit in front of a console again and play. I know some of the big fighting games and everything else, Injustice came out, and that's a game that my brother and I will play and everything else. But it's the console does not interest me anywhere near as much as it used to. It's all about PC. It's been about PC for
a while,
3-4 years now, and that's where it's been. I mean, some titles will pull me back to the console. You know, the ones that absolutely will not come back to PC and that I can only play, and I'm actually interested in. Once in a while, sure, fine, but PC is where I stay. But
I think when it comes out, you'll buy one and you'll get some games, and there'll be some games in there you want to play. So.
I mean, Xbox One.
And you know, the one game that really intrigues me, you know, we've talked about The Division before.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I really hope is still coming to the PC.
Yeah.
So we'll see down the road what happens.
I mean, that game, I honestly think that if it did come to PC, that would be one of those games that we could just get everybody definitely involved in. I mean, 'cause I know I'm excited for it. You definitely.
I'll play the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that, the whole, like, dynamic PvP that happens in the game and everything else, like, that just sounds fantastic. Like, that, I mean, that sounds like an awesome game. Why not? So, come on, Tom Clancy. Just bring it to the PC for us. Let us enjoy it. You know,
why not? I mean,
expand your market.
So many other Tom Clancy games are.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. We've gotten some of them. Sometimes they take a lot longer to come to us, but.
Yeah. You know. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Just do it. Just shut up and do it. Oh, really? Like, what the fuck?
I just find it funny calling Tom Clancy a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just do it. What's the hold up?
Exactly. Just give us a game that we're actually going to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
bitches.
Shut up.
Yeah.
And do it.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about crappy Ubisoft games.
Okay.
Let's talk about Mighty Quest for Epic Loot.
Yes.
That was a game that you were excited about, Tim.
I've been playing it.
However, Update 15.
Huh?
From what I understand about Update 15, have you played the game since Update 15's come out, Tim?
No.
Okay, so I understand, and this is the information I've gathered from a Total Biscuit video. The game is turned into pay to win.
Oh.
So this update did some good things to the game apparently. So they updated a lot of the graphic options, added a lot of the fidelity of the game as far as graphics goes, fixed some balance issues in the game, and made it easier to acquire gold. But apparently you can now purchase almost every single thing in the game with the in-game purchasable currency, which is what's called the bling.
Right. And that was there when I first started playing, yes.
So, but my understanding is before you could not do that.
Okay, maybe not everything, but there were sets of items for particular levels as you went and grabbed them, and honestly, like you said, the pay to win, I felt at times that I needed to definitely spend the ducats on gear to go ahead and better my character, and I actually did, because I got the, bling, I hate fucking even saying it.
Me too. I feel like such an MTV stooge saying the word bling.
And I got it for, signing up for the beta and paying for immediate access to the beta.
Okay.
And so I then turned around. I was having a hard time beating some of the player dungeons. Like, there were just some really cheap ways to build your dungeon that people could not get past it. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this with my gear level. So then I realized that I could actually use this money and buy actual gear at my level and buy, purple rated gear. So that's what I did. I bought a full set of purple rated gear, and then I went back into the game and I face rolled everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, oh man, it's gonna be, like, I was kind of worried about that, but now that you're saying it, I'm like, oh, they are going with that model.
Well, apparently they've expanded it too. You can even purchase, you can buy anything with money, real money. So not just gear, because apparently also they've nerfed the gear that you can buy in the game too.
Okay.
So they nerfed the gear.
Oh shit, that is terrible for me.
They made it so that you can buy anything in the game, literally any upgrade, any monster, any defense, anything with real money. Which apparently was not the case before.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, they've in effect turned it into a buy to win game. The gear, from what Total Biscuit said, the older gear, I think he was saying was much more difficult to replace. They I guess realigned a lot of the items so that a lot of the older gear that may have been epic, quote unquote, is now legendary. So they changed a lot of that around.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said though, the gear that you could purchase before was a lot better than what they have now. So he just said that a lot of the gear is very difficult to replace. So you don't get the good drops, like it's almost like a Diablo 3 in that sense, where you're just not getting the gear that you need. And now that you can purchase basically anything in the game, it just makes it a lot more imbalanced.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely stuff that you could use the money for. I mean, you could use it to speed up everything, so if you have the coins laying around, you didn't want to wait the 12 hours for your ship to finish or your ship to upgrade, yeah, you can just go ahead and spend the money, the in-game currency and actually speed it up, and like, okay, now I can move on to the next thing. And I don't remember if the research, I think you could do it too, but I don't remember everything being, purchasable with the real money currency, I guess. But I mean, what I was playing of it, I was enjoying myself. It's like I ran to that wall almost immediately in the game. I'm going, well, it just seems like it's almost damn near impossible to win at this level currently, and I felt that I absolutely needed to, take this currency, which I had because I bought. I bought into the beta, so I was able to use it to go ahead and buy this gear, and then, it became a lot easier for me to actually progress. But I felt like, why did I need to do that? But, I mean, everyone's got their model, everyone's got their way of making money, and of course they found theirs. Is it disappointing? Yeah. Is it unheard of? No. It's definitely not unheard of. I mean, especially if you look at like iOS games or Android games, everyone's got all those portable games have the exact same fucking model.
Yeah, but given that it is still in beta, it can still change. They could revert it back and make it a little bit more challenging. We'll see. It's Ubisoft; they suck, so you never know. But we'll see how they go down the road.
It's really funny. I just think about it because the guys over at Gamageddon, which we participate in stuff with them all the time. Like one of their big things initially was they got into the beta for Mighty Quest for Epic Loot, and then they got involved with the developers. And actually, the developers started following them on their stream and started handing them out beta keys, and actually they were promoting the game and everything else. And they've been really big into pushing this game. I'd love to hear their opinion since the release. I haven't talked to them about it since. But I'd love to hear what they have to say about it. If they're disappointed or anything like that with, as it has changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, we've been playing 6-player Killing Floor with them. So, haven't been really playing anything else.
Well, I guess the next thing I wanted to bring up then is the upcoming 3DS Legend of Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
So, Comic-Con, once again, they showed off more footage of the game. Well, let me rephrase it. They didn't show off more footage, they just talked about it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And they explained some things in the game that I wasn't aware of at least. So, in this game, Link has a magic meter, much like in Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you played Link to the Past, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so those boxes were a dick without it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, now, there are several key differences between how items and magic work in this game versus previous games. So, let's say if you're using the bow and arrow, instead of having a set number of arrows, your bow and arrow uses off of your magic meter.
Okay.
So, it's not like, okay, well I have 20 arrows and now I use them all and now I need to go find more arrows. It works like magic in the previous games, and also the magic meter refills over time.
Okay.
And now it appears to be a pretty short interval between when you stop using it and when it refills.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
I can kind of get behind that. All right.
Yeah. And I saw some people who weren't too happy about that, but I didn't mind it, really. I just think that if you're gonna play a Zelda game, there is a certain level of resource management that goes into it, I guess, but it's the kind of thing where, for me at least, I always kind of prepared ahead, so I never went into a dungeon or whatever if I knew I was gonna need bombs or arrows, I never went into it unprepared.
Right.
So, I just don't really see how it's that different from before. And even in a game like Link to the Past, you could you could max out at like 75 arrows and like 50 bombs, and you're never gonna need that many arrows or bombs in the game.
No, unless you're really bad at it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you. So, I just don't see how that's a negative thing. It's not that big of a deal to me. In fact, I think they can make more interesting encounters where there would be more resource management in the sense of like just kind of quick reactions versus like I'm just gonna spam arrows and bombs at a creature or a boss or whatever endlessly.
Yeah, I guess it's like less resource I guess it's like one less thing to really worry about, but now you have to take in consideration the fact that this thing now pulls from the same resources as everything else.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is, in a sense, I don't know, it's hard to explain. There still is some source of management involved, but it's just different. And I just think that they can make boss encounters and mini bosses and all that a little bit different by balancing it around the fact that all these items pull from one meter. Even an item like the hammer, which was in the original Link to the Past, uses from your magic meter too. So, I'm interested to see the encounters and bosses and mini bosses and all that they're gonna come up with to balance it around that.
Honestly, how much of a pain in the ass was fighting that two-headed Hydra in Link to the Past and absolutely needing enough magic potions to get you by it, and then knowing that you have to use the fire rod and the ice rod to hit the opposing force. And it's like that one time you're like, I ran out of potions, I'm boned.
Yeah.
So the recharging, I don't have a problem with it. I'll play it. I'll definitely play it. Fuck it.
Absolutely. And this could be the game that will sell me on a 3DS. Possibly. But it goes beyond that too. Just beyond bombs and arrows and magic meter and all that. So, they talked a little bit about another element in the game, which is, and they had talked about it before, but I don't think we had mentioned it, where Link can actually merge with walls in this game.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can merge with walls, and that will help you solve puzzles, find extra items, heart containers, bombs, whatever. That's just typical Zelda stuff. So, you merge with the wall, and it goes from just the overworld Link view to being able to move alongside of a wall, basically. I'd have to show you the video for you to really understand it, but it's definitely a new element in the Zelda series.
We've seen things like this happen before. Look at the Minish Cap and everything else. You have the ability to, shrink your ass down, come back up.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's definitely not unheard of to have some mechanic in there.
But it's similar to that, but it's a new element that they're adding. And the one thing that I guess they're doing to balance it or whatever is they're making it so that when you merge with walls, it does use up your magic meter as well. So I'm thinking that they can make some boss encounters where you have to merge, use spells, maybe bomb and arrow sort of thing. So I just think that with all the elements they're adding in, they're going to be able to make interesting boss encounters that are reminiscent of the old style of Link and Link to the Past and all that, but still creative and new.
I thought it was interesting. When I first heard about that, they were making a sequel to Link to the Past and actually doing it in the original style of Link to the Past too. So, that's a game that I will, keep my eyes and ears ready for it and everything else. And I do have my 3DS, and there's not a lot that I play on it right now except for really New Leaf is the only thing I've been playing recently, because everything else I've beaten. But, you know, it's just, I'd be interested to see it. I mean, I was interested when I first heard about it, and I can't wait to possibly get my hands on it when it comes out.
Well, hopefully you won't have to wait much longer, because the release date apparently is in November.
Oh, okay.
And they've just said that I don't even know if they're necessarily considering it a sequel or a retelling of the original Link to the Past, but we'll see when it comes out, how the story goes and all that. But it's definitely something to get excited about. It looks really awesome. It really does.
Yeah, I thought that they said that it was going to be maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that they did actually say that this was a sequel to Link to the Past.
I'm not sure how it fits into the lore, but we'll see.
But you know, the Zelda universe is so freaking jumbled up. You really, you know, if you really want to get a full explanation, go watch The Angry Video Game Nerd, because he has a whole video dedicated to try and figure out how the hell the Zelda universe is actually put together.
And even still, I've seen other explanations which go beyond what he said.
Yeah.
So, it's a vast universe, and these new games are just making things more complicated, so.
Yes. Indeed they are.
But as far as that game goes, that was really all I had to say. I mean, I really hope it turns out good. I think it will. And this, like I said, it could be the game that sells me on the 3DS. I really want to play it. The only other thing that I would be missing is my non-existent Metroid game. Which isn't gonna happen. Ever. It's never gonna happen. So.
You know, I pulled my 3DS out, so I bought New Leaf. Mm-hmm. And I've been playing that, but then I forgot.
Pokemon game?
No, Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, okay, Animal Crossing, okay.
No, that's XY. That's coming out for Pokemon. I think, yeah, XY, I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's the new 3DS title that's gonna be coming.
Okay.
But I forgot that I had some games installed from the old game market and everything else, and I had Punch-Out on there. And I was like, oh shit. I spent all fucking night playing Punch-Out. And I was like, this is fantastic. I forgot that I even had this game on here. Mm-hmm. Fuck these new games. Punch-Out! Let's go!
Yeah.
Come on, Glass Joe, you're going down.
The easiest, fighter in the game.
Yeah.
Come on, level 1, you're going down.
Yeah, man. Making you my bitch. Let's do this.
Well, since we're talking about old school games and all that, there is a DuckTales remake, which we talked about last week, coming out, and another game where they showed off more at Comic-Con of, and there's about a 25-30 minute video up on YouTube right now where you can watch the actual in-game footage of one of the levels, and it looks really good. I mean, I went from, you know, kind of iffy about to, you know, it's something I'd consider to a game where I'm at the point now where it's like, I really want to play it. So, I mean, the graphics in the game are just, it's very colorful, very vibrant, good animations. It just looks like it's going to be a very faithful remake of an old school game. They are going to have an in-game map too, so I think one of the things about the older DuckTales game, especially if you go back to it, is it can be a little bit, I feel like sometimes the game works against you in that it's just hard to tell where to go, where you've been. And a lot of old school games suffer from that.
Huh.
So,
you think? I mean, I don't know. I don't think I mean, it's been a long time since I played it, but
some of those games do, like, for example, take the original Metroid. If you don't know where you're going in Metroid, how are you gonna move? How are you gonna get around? You're gonna have no idea where you're going.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is, some of those, maybe some, most, all, maybe everyone, whatever, suffer from that kind of thing where it was so new, you know, that mechanic just wasn't in the game.
I mean, you're talking about people when Nintendo Entertainment System came out. How many people are still coming over from the Atari 2600?
Yeah.
That are, I mean, even later versions of Atari, but I mean, there wasn't really much in terms of like complexity to a game. So to have something like this come out, or something like Metroid, like you said, and like, oh, there's all these fucking rooms, and there's different ways you have to go about it. There's actually an order you have to do to it, otherwise you're just gonna get your ass killed. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, but I don't know, I wouldn't really, I mean, again, it's been a long time since I played DuckTales, but I wouldn't throw them into that same, pool.
I think there's a level select option in that game. And I think it's not entirely linear, so throughout each level, I mean, I don't know, I'm with you where I haven't played it in so long that I can't really remember, but I don't see having an in-game map a bad thing, but it's just a departure from the way they used to do it, where back then there was nothing like that, in most games.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's fully voice acted too in the cutscenes, which is pretty cool. I don't know if the voice actors are the same people from the cartoon or whatever, but overall, I mean, it looks really cool. It's something I've said before where I'm gonna buy. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out, but it's prompting.
We're not getting, are we getting a PC release for this, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Oh
yeah.
I was watching the reveal trailer again here as you were talking, and like, oh yeah, it's fucking, and of course, you know, they're playing the theme song, and like, it was like taking all of my power to not start singing along.
Yeah.
To the theme song for DuckTales, but they didn't mention anything on there about a PC release, so.
No, it's coming. It is.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's August 13th.
Okay.
So just a few weeks.
Oh man, that's 5 days before Saints Row. Shit.
Oh no. Well, that's plenty of time to beat DuckTales. It can't be that long of a game.
Nah. I think I can beat that in a day.
Buy DuckTales, beat it, and then, play Saints Row.
Yeah. I could do that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's like been trying to, finish all these games and everything. Like, I realized that if I actually put my mind to it, I fucking blow through this shit. And I don't know if I should be upset with myself or slow down more, but I just need to get these done and play them and enjoy it. And it's not like I'm just rushing through them, like I'm just gonna skip everything. Like, I'm still doing my normal thing, I'll find out if there's some kind of achievement that I can be chasing after here, then I'll go ahead and take the time to do it and all this other stuff and try to find all the secrets, or I pray to God that the game doesn't have, find 50 different of these kind of things in it, but,
find 12 bare asses.
Yeah.
Take them back to the quest hub.
Find fucking 50 tacos. the collectible in Deadpool was find 50 tacos. No, sorry, is it 50 or is it 100? It might have been 100. Yeah, sorry, it was 100 tacos.
Okay.
Find 100 tacos. And what's really stupid is the fact that the tacos had the exact same animation as gun drops and everything, so they're just, these fucking rotating squares on the ground, so they look like ammo drops, but there was a picture of a taco instead. I'm like, whatever, dog. Okay. But they, don't do anything. It's just you get them for killing people, you find them laying around and everything else. It was not a hard achievement to find, or to complete, and it was like, okay. Yeah, sorry, I was pulling it up. Yeah. The name of the achievement was Taco Savior, and it was collect 100 tacos.
Cool.
Oh well. I mean, it was a collectible thing, but it was not one of those pain in the ass ones, like, find 50 flags, find all the artifacts. And I started playing Mark of the Ninja, and they had the same thing, find all the artifacts. I'm like, God damn it, really? And it's like, oh, well, there's a path directly ahead, or there's a path off to the left. I guess I should take the path off to the left first. Oh, wait, what do you know? There's an artifact sitting right there. Cool. But that game is kind of like the way that Gunpoint is, where it rewards you for being completely stealthy. You get more, you actually take a pretty big point bonus, or point penalty if you alert the guards in any way.
Yeah.
So it's a game of being stealthy as shit. There's even an achievement I think in there to complete a level without even killing a single guard. I'm like, oh, why? Without killing them and without alerting them. You motherfuckers.
Well, since we're talking about Steam games and all that, the game I've been playing lately has at least over the past couple of days has been Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine.
Mm-hmm.
So We talked about it a little bit before it came out, because I was highly impressed with the demo.
Yeah, we both played the demo, yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool. It's a fun game. It's a little one-dimensional. There's not a lot to the combat. There's not a lot of depth in the game. So if you're looking for like a thinking man's game, you know, if you're like, I'm a Civ 5 player, and all of a sudden I want to try this game out, oh yeah, you're gonna be a little disappointed. But for what it is, it's pretty fun. I mean, I got it last year on the summer sale for pretty cheap. So it's just in that like third person action game style, like Darksiders and whatnot. I think it actually has a little bit less to it. The Darksiders has a lot of backtracking and all that. It's a little bit more linear.
It did, yeah.
It's more linear than that kind of a game. But it's still pretty cool. And it's set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, which I've always been fond of. Mm-hmm. Aside from the fact that it's a bloody, terrible Space Marine game, which I'm not a Space Marine player. I was a Chaos player myself. So I'm still waiting for my Chaos-oriented game, by the way. Hint, hint, game developers. But it's cool. It's a lot of fun. It's bloody. It's violent. And the combat is satisfying. Thankfully, it's not a very long game. I haven't beaten it yet, but I feel like I'm getting pretty close to the end. I'm like chapter 7 of it. So, overall, it was a good purchase, but I think, you know, it could have a little bit more meat to it, I guess, but I can't complain too much. So, I don't know if you have any thoughts on Space Marine Team, if you played it, or gone anything past the demo, or...
I haven't gone past the demo.
Okay.
You know what? I installed it once and I was like, I'm gonna play this, and actually, because I liked it during the demo. I like you, I picked it up during the summer sale last year where it was marked down to, you know, being nothing. I actually picked up the entire Warhammer, universe, or at least whatever was available through Steam. Cause they had the whole package that you could buy. And, it's like one of those games, I liked the demo, but I just never went back to actually finishing it, so. Mm-hmm. It's on my list.
Okay.
It's definitely on my list. And I think, you know what, I might actually just play it soon. I think I'm gonna finish up Mark of the Ninja after I finish chasing a few more achievements in Deadpool.
Yeah.
And then, I think I'll go Mark of the Ninja, and I think I'll go back to playing, maybe I'll go back to Space Marine and say, the hell with it, let's go. I think, cause I liked the game, I liked what I saw in the demo, I just never finished it. Just never, you know, went past.
It's just one of those games that got put aside.
Yeah.
But it's been out for a couple years, so I just feel like it's time to put it aside and move on. So. But since we're talking about Warhammer, and I brought it up, we might as well talk about some other Warhammer games, because there are a lot of them coming out. Quite a few. So today I read about a game called Chainsaw Warrior.
Oh man.
Yeah, which sounds awesome. I mean,
yeah.
Chainsaw Warrior, how can you lose?
That with a name like that, that's fucking awesome, okay?
Yeah. So, I don't know anything about this, but apparently it's one of their older board games. Mm-hmm. So, they describe it as, Chainsaw Warrior will ask you to face overwhelming odds in the vain hope of saving New York from a larger than usual outpouring of zombies and mutants. Mm. So, I don't think it fits into the Warhammer universe, but sounds pretty cool. Okay. Now it's coming to PC and mobile, so we'll see. I don't know anything about it other than that, and it's being developed by something called Arak Digital, which some guy who worked on a game called Call of Cthulhu: The Wasted Land made. I don't know anything about that game either, so we'll see. It's worth keeping an eye on because the name itself is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put the name Chainsaw on everything.
Exactly, yeah. Chainsaw anything, you know. Always has potential.
Chainsaw Kitty Adventure, you know.
Yeah. Hello, Chainsaw Kitty Adventure.
It still sounds okay to me.
Sounds threatening.
I'll play the demo.
So, beyond that, we have Space Hulk, which is a remake of a game based on a board game, which pits Space Marines versus the Tyranids, it's like a turn-based sort of thing, which looks pretty cool. So, it's hard to describe without actually looking at it. But I would definitely at least suggest people go check it out. It looks awesome. Like I said, it's Space Marine versus Tyranids in the Warhammer universe, so it could be good. We'll see. Blood Bowl, which is a sort of sports game, I guess. I don't really know how to describe that one either.
I've played Blood Bowl.
Yeah, so it's actually Blood Bowl 2.
Okay, yeah, so we're looking, okay, yeah.
So yeah, it's just sort of that over-the-top competitive sports thing.
Yeah, because Blood Bowl was a board game.
Yeah, it was.
And then
they made it to a video game, and
yeah.
now they're making 2.
Ah.
So.
Yeah, you know what? Having a turn-based football game was really weird to me, and I sat down, and so I picked it up for nothing during the Steam Summer Sale. I looked at it, I'm like, that's interesting, you know, a bunch of mutants beating the fuck out of each other, and turn-based strategy, and everything else. Okay, I can get behind this. And I started playing, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then, I think people were trying to get me to play something else, and I was like, yeah, alright. And then I just never played it again.
Yeah. But also they have a turn-based strategy game, which is coming out from a developer called the Slytherin Group, which I've never heard of before, but apparently they make extremely difficult strategy games.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a lot of like historical games. They have games based on like the Napoleonic Wars and the Civil War, America's Civil War, and like Prussian Wars, and just all these, you know, old wars that, you know, they have games based off of like the Roman era and all that. So apparently they make very deep, very involved strategy games. I'm glad that at least people are interested in picking up these IPs and trying something new with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because throughout the whole history of Warhammer, they've been very, very hit or miss with their PC games, or just video games in general. So I hope some consistency and quality will do them some good. Cause I think it just deserves more attention than it's gotten. You know, like I said, they've been very hit or miss. I mean, you can go back to like Warhammer Mark of Chaos, which was in their fantasy, universe. You know, it was a strategy game, not well received. But then you go to Space Marine, which got pretty good reviews overall, and then you can go back to other games like they had, Dark Omen, I think it was, which was another fantasy strategy game which didn't get good reviews, and it just goes on and on and on.
You got Dawn of War and everything else.
Dawn of War, which has gotten good reviews too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, they've always been very up and down, and I just think that, you know, putting it into a new developer's hands, hopefully somebody that has some quality behind them, will do them some good, to do them the justice that they deserve, because the Warhammer universe is really cool. The lore behind it is awesome. There's a lot of deep lore, and you can just do a lot of things with that IP, but it's just, like I said, it's been so inconsistent. Hasn't done them justice.
Yeah, cause I mean, Warhammer, I mean, it's a universe that I'm not familiar with completely.
Okay.
Like, I was never into the Warhammer series. And then I heard people talking about it more and more, and I go, okay, I'm getting interested. And then I hear more, I'm like, okay, I can still get behind this. And then more and more like, maybe I should go ahead and give it a shot, maybe. And, not only did I, start buying some of the games, like I bought, whatever was available on Steam, and then, I actually bought the tabletop version of Warhammer, in my last, visit to North Carolina, because I went to go ahead and visit our good old buddy Matt, who runs Gamers Haven down there in Greenville, North Carolina. And he specializes in those tabletop games, and Warhammer is the big one. And I mean, he has the TCGs, like Magic the Gathering is there, but his big thing has always been Warhammer. And, I went there with Josh, and he was trying to convince me to buy just, one of the kits and, build one of the figures and paint it and spend all this time doing this, just build a model. Like,
Yeah.
okay, but I mean, I don't see, I mean, my hand shakes, you know, like, what good am I gonna be to be painting small details? Like, that doesn't work for me. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. And then, so finally, Matt talked me into buying the starter kit for Warhammer. And I was like, okay. So I sat down and I started reading the instructions on how to play and set everything up, and it comes with everything basically to have games set up. I was like, well, I need someone else to play with me. And I can't convince anybody else to play Warhammer with me.
Yeah.
And that's been my roadblock so far, is finding someone else to actually play Warhammer. Cause I mean, I know that from when people I've talked to and everything else, even, Matt himself said this is an expensive habit to get into.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's terribly expensive, yeah.
So I was not looking, I did not want to get too crazy into it kind of thing, but I definitely wanted to play it. I definitely want to give it a shot. But I can't find, anyone to really sit down and actually, play it with me. I mean, it's different from, me constantly playing video games and everything else. And, here's a tabletop game. But I mean, like, I take the breaks from stuff. I play Magic the Gathering every now and then, the actual, building a deck of cards and going to play with people. I'll go do that. But Warhammer was something that started to interest me, but I can't find anybody to play. So, I guess, I mean, if I go find a game shop and everything else to go play, but it's like, I'm walking in there being a complete nub. Like, it's like, I've never played a single game in my life. Please teach me. Yeah. But from what I can tell from people that at least I experienced out in North Carolina, like, they are willing to teach you. Like, some of them were. Other people were like, hey, get the fucking rule book. This is guys. I'm like, oh God, really? Jesus.
Well, when I played, I didn't really run into any people like that. I mean, this was when I was, much younger. I was, 11, 12, 13 years old. So I didn't really have any problems with anybody like that. But it's a complex game, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're, getting more into it and actually doing serious battles and trying to configure an army and all that. So it can get pretty deep.
I mean, I just think it would be fun to do. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, cause like that turn-based stuff, like, like shit like Civ 5, interests me. Like that turn-based, tile-based, just, combat like that always, that stuff like that interests me. From what I can tell, it's like, playing that stuff, but on just a board or on a built environment. You're building your armies, you're putting your strategies together, you're thinking about, 5 turns ahead of your turn right now. That kind of stuff. And I like to do these strategy games. I really do. I like to put my brain to the test and think about, what could possibly come next. And always preparing for that move ahead of the move. Mm-hmm. It's like, but I can't find any way to play. And like, there's no good shops around my area that I know of. Like, the other ones, they're like in downtown Pittsburgh and shit like that. Like, just by saying those words alone, downtown Pittsburgh, fuck it. I can't bring myself to do it. Like, I hate going downtown for any reason. Like, if I have to go there for a job, fine. If I have to go down there for pleasure, not gonna happen. If I go down to Heinz Field, or I go to PNC, or I go to the Console Energy Center, yeah, for the sports events, sure. But for anything other than that, I will find a way to not go there. So.
Okay, fair enough.
But like I said, it's something I want to try. I mean, I'm interested in the Warhammer universe.
Yeah.
I can't find people, unless I'm going to play against myself. So maybe if I get like really, really drunk, like I'll forget what I said 2 minutes ago to myself. Or I just like, I could have, Weapon X experiment on me and I become Deadpool and I can have people talking to me in my head and then I can actually play against myself. But chances are that won't happen. But getting really drunk and then forgetting what I said 2 minutes ago, that's a good possibility.
Well, real quick, let's wrap this up. I just wanted to mention too that, they have the same people that made the Total War series, Rome Total War and all that, bought the Warhammer Fantasy license. So there's a potential there could be a Warhammer Total War game coming out in the future, which sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also we have the Warhammer MMO as well, 40k MMO, Eternal Crusade, which has a very interesting model, which we will talk about, I guess, at some point later on.
Yeah, cause
once we get a little bit more detail. We mentioned it a little bit here and there, but I want to wait a little bit before we actually delve into that.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
So, that was all I had to say as far as Warhammer goes, and that was actually my last note as well. So, I am Finn.
Finn. I just saw a black screen and white lettering pop up in my head. Yeah. No, but actually that's perfect because that pretty much brings us to our limit or, the soft limit and everything here. So, thank you all for listening once again to episode 141 of Two Guys, One Cartridge. Mm-hmm. And, we'll be back here next week with some more fun for you all. Maybe I'll actually get some more of my summer games out of the way and I can tell you what to play and what not to play. But so far, I'm pretty much enjoying everything that I've purchased so far.
Indeed.
It's a rare occasion when I can say I actually enjoyed every last thing I played.
Yeah.
But y'all yourselves a good night, a good week, and we'll see you back here for 142.
Indeed.